This is Andy Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Austin Amo Williams here in Saudi Arabia. Amo, been a while. How are you doing?
Been a minute, man. I'm doing well. I'm adjusting to the times, and I'm just happy to be here.
I'm glad to hear it. I was going to do this towards the end, but I've kind of spoiled the surprise. I've got a T-shirt here for yourself for the company that, for the company I work for. Boxing News has
Okay,
launched our
okay.
clothing brand 1909, the year that Boxing News was founded. So there's a T-shirt here for yourself.
Hand it over.
There you go. Get the views on, mate. Yeah, that's it. All those girls are going to start watching now.
I help out the ones who help me out. Let's put this thing on. Boxing News, baby. They've been rocking with me since I started.
And we will stay rocking with you. I didn't think it was possible for you to look even better, Emma, but yeah, here I am.
Here we go.
Emma, how are you doing? How's fight week treating you so far?
Make sure, am I fixed up? You get the shirt right on me.
It's,
No, I'm telling you.
oh, you want me to? All right.
Am I adjusted right? Get me right, dude. Can't be crazy for this interview. How you doing?
Good to see you.
All right, we good?
We're good.
All right, let's go.
Emma, yeah, here we are. It's Monday. It's media day. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I get to blossom into who I am. On what better stage? We're here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, about to fight at the Kingdom Arena. All of my dreams are here. I can't even say this is my dream because, like I said, like I told Eddie earlier, I couldn't imagine this in my dreams. Some things in life you can't imagine. You just have to experience, and this is one of those things, so I'm very happy.
5 versus 5, Emma. Eddie Hearn versus Frank Warren. We've had a bitter rivalry over the years.
30 years.
Have the team spoken to you about this fight, how much it means to Matchroom?
Oh man, it's like my life been revolving around that. They've been teaching me all the histories. Why it's so important. This stuff been going on before I was born. So to be a part of it, to be the selection, to be the pick, to be the one to represent Matchroom after all of these years, especially being one of the first fighters from Team Matchroom USA, this means a lot to me. And it just gives me a lot of fuel. I want to go hard. I want to give the fans something beautiful to see, but I want to win for Matchroom Boxing.
Emma, the man in the opposite corner to yourself, Hamzah Sheeraz. He's been a bit of an enigma. It's somewhat, when he steps between the ropes, people kind of question when will he fall short, and he's continued to upset the odds. He's been on an incredible run of form. How much of his career have you followed? How much of Hamzah Sheeraz do you know?
I became aware of Hamzah Sheeraz in September of last year, right after I fought Steve Rose, because that's when I asked Eddie Hearn publicly to fight Hamzah Sheeraz. It was no secret. This wasn't a DM between me and Eddie Hearn. This was something I put out for the world to see. And he's seen it. Everybody's seen it. And for it to materialize here in June, it's beautiful. I picked him because I felt like he was on a similar type of trajectory as I was, and it's just a good time for us to clash. We're both young. We both have a lot to gain and a lot to lose. I think that it's a beautiful time for us to come together, and this is what makes legendary fights and fighters.
Your fight and Ray Ford versus Nick Ball, when I ask people about the fights on this 5 versus 5, people struggle to separate them. People see it as a 50-50.
Yeah.
Do you see this as a 50-50?
With the development and things that I've come into since this year, I don't see it as a 50-50, but I am excited and happy that the world does see it as a 50-50 because that's the only way you become a top-level champion. Not one just handed a belt, but somebody where people feel like you really earned the notoriety of being a world champion. He's a guy that's going to give me that notoriety on my record, and I'm very grateful for him. I'm very grateful that this fight is able to happen. But yes, I feel like in the public side, without them knowing where I am currently, and of course not knowing where Hamzah is currently, it makes sense to put it at a 50-50 fight just from what we've accomplished, what we've achieved, level of our position and things like that, and the way that we've disposed of our opposition. I feel like it's fair. It's fair to be 50-50 along with Ray Ford and Nick Ball. I think it's fair. But I got to go with Ray because that's my teammate. So, yeah, I'm happy that these types of fights were made, and that wasn't by mistake. This 5v5 wasn't They picking guys where it's a 30-70 split or something like. No, no, no. They knew that they tried to make each fight a 50-50. So for mine to really fall in that category, it makes me happy.
Emma, how does this fight between yourself and Hamzah Sheeraz play out?
It's gonna be a battle of wills, a battle of attrition. As I always say, my soul is totally involved in this. Everything, my whole being, every second I've been here on this planet will be on display. And I'm fighting for, I'm giving it everything. Hamza said in our face off that it's just a sport. It's not just a sport. Not at all. They actually told me a lot about him. Um, and I'll show him the differences between someone whose actual life is attached to this and someone who takes it as just a sport. And yeah, it's fun. Of course, I'm coming with a different level of passion, and that's scary for people to do because everybody wants to be nonchalant. Everybody wants to ride that streamline and not caring too much. You know why? Because that's a safe zone. If something doesn't go right for a guy like that who's just calm and it's just a sport, it's not that big of a deal. You know, if things don't go right for that person, then they can always fall back and say, oh, well, it's just a sport. For me, everyone in the planet knows that it's everything to me. This is my entire being. So that's the harder thing to express. That's the harder thing to attach to your art and things like that. But I'm willing to do it because I'm so confident in what I'll do June 1st.
We know you're an action-packed, aggressive fighter. You like to entertain the fans, Emma. Does this fight end inside the distance?
This fight, you guys are in for a treat because the way that I trained is totally action packed. It's 100%. It doesn't matter what Hamza does. It's gonna be an action packed total fight, face to face, battle of attrition. It's going to be that. It can only be that. It won't be anything other than that. So the fans always have a beautiful time watching me, in that zone. Of course, y'all see fights where I'm a little bit more aggressive than others, but I promise you, this is the one that's going to be the most action packed you guys have ever seen.
The fight that steals the show?
Easily. Easily.
Victory. Where to next?
I don't want to look past Hamzah Sheeraz, but there is talk to the WBC championship, after this, which gives motivation to do what I have to do, on June 1st. But this fight is big enough as it is for it to wrap my entire brain around it. You know what I mean? It's big enough. There's nothing solidified if this doesn't go right anyway. So that's what I always say with things like that. You know it. I just got to respect what I got in front of me. And that's Hamzah Sheeraz, a real fighter, 19-0, 16 KOs, not a joke. So that's what I'm focused on right now.
Does that excite you? More so having a fighter such as Hamza with that type of record, with that aggression himself, that knockout record, as you mentioned, does it excite you having somebody who is not just saying he's coming to win, he's coming with his intentions of winning?
Yeah, absolutely. That makes everything. We fighters, we put our life on the line. You got to assume the risk every time you get in the ring. Whether you're fighting a 2 and 20,000 fighter or you're fighting a 19-0, 16 KO fighter, you're still putting your life on the line. A lot of guys, this is what I don't understand. Like a lot of fighters, they cherry pick and they think that they're being safe and things like that. But actually, you're in the same danger that you're in fighting a highly touted fighter, young fighter, whatever, because an elbow to the back of the head, any little thing can cause serious damage in this sport. So for me to be at the point in time where I'm assuming I risk, but for the right reasons, that makes me a lot more excited because now I'm saying, yes, I'm doing this thing and I'm doing it where there's a high risk. But if anything is to happen, I can say that I'm fighting the top guys in the world rather than I'm risking all of these things fighting a bum or somebody who doesn't bring anything to the table. It just it just makes me a different level of elated. It's a happiness that I can bring into the fight because a warrior's dream is to fight another warrior. A warrior's dream is to go into war with somebody who takes it just as serious as them. Um, so yeah, I hope Hamza can match that energy, and if he does, then it'll be one of the battles of the ages.
I have to ask you, obviously, you mentioned the WBC position. Carlos Adames, what do you make of him, and what would you make of a potential fight between the pair of you?
Can't dive into that right now. I got to keep my brain stored in space right on Hamzah Sheeraz. I'm sorry, but I can't.
It's all good, Ammo. I'll leave a final message to yourself then. Anything you want to say to Hamzah Sheeraz, to the fans ahead of Saturday night?
First of all, to the people, I want to say, do not miss this show. It'll be one of the biggest fights in his biggest shows in history. Um, the Zone pay-per-view, buy it, experience it. It'll be nothing like this ever again. It's the first 5v5. This is them, you know, ripping off the band-aid of a very, very long rivalry. Do not miss it. Hamza, I'm coming for you. You know it. I don't even have to be all super serious about it. You already know. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then I also want to say thank you to all my fans and my family and everybody who loves me and supports me through this journey. I'm giving it everything I got, and y'all will be proud on Saturday night.
Ammo, appreciate your time. Good luck on Saturday night, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.